Welcome back to another week of IUP TV News. I'm Rachel Dawsey. Tonight's stories include a welcome for 45 new U.S. citizens and an update on a murder story we first brought to you last week.
I'm Vinny Lowry. Let's begin tonight with an alert about a drug epidemic threatening Indiana County. Powerful drugs are reportedly circulating around Indiana County, so deadly that accidentally touching or inhaling them could cause a fatal overdose. County Coroner Jerry Overman issued a warning about the drugs that last week, explaining that these powerful opioids have killed 3 people locally in recent weeks. First responders are also being warned that they could die from incidental contact with these potent drugs. Overman explained the drugs are live opioids with long and complex chemical names, but one of the drugs is commonly used as an elephant tranquilizer. The drugs are in a powder form and mixed with heroin. Overman believes the drugs are being produced in China and brought into the U.S. through Canada or Mexico, and that they are now in the hands of drug users in Indiana County. Overman believes the number of fatalities will rise, but hopes his public announcement will help prevent some deaths.
As we reported last week, the murder of a University of Pittsburgh student is connected to a local case. The ex-boyfriend of Pitt student Alina Chiquette is under arrest in connection with her death and also faces charges in Indiana Borough. Matthew Darby was charged last February for the rape and sexual assault of another girlfriend who was an IUP student. Darby, 21, had been out on bond from the charges here at the time Chiquette was killed. His bond has since been revoked. Darby will be extradited from South Carolina, where he was arrested on October 11th, and returned to Pennsylvania, where he faces charges in Pittsburgh and here in Indiana. Jury selection for Darby's trial in Indiana will begin on November 20th.
45 people took the oath of citizenship to become U.S. citizens last week at IUP. I was at the ceremony as the oath was taken. The U.S. Citizenship Naturalization Ceremony was held here at Indiana, Pennsylvania for the 5th year in Toretti Auditorium at the Kovalchik Convention Athletic Complex. The event was open to the public and welcomed 45 new citizens to the United States. The naturalization ceremony concludes a week-long celebration for awareness of international education and its student programs. The ceremony is in honor of the new recipients of citizenship for the United States. We had a chance to speak with the field office director, Michael Horvath.
We chose IUP because of what the universities represent in our region, public universities, is education and opportunity. And it's really what echoes through our naturalization ceremonies and why people come to the United States. So something for the new citizens is that I urge them to be active in their communities and take an active role in the United States, because it's all of us that make the United States such a special place.
The recipients received a message from the President of the United States on what it means to become an American citizen. IUP's very own president, Michael Driscoll, had the opportunity to talk during the ceremony and what it means to be a naturalization ceremony host.
We had a naturalization ceremony today, which involves swearing people in as new citizens of the United States. I think we had 45 new citizens join our population of this country today. I have always enjoyed being able to participate. Really warms my heart to see these individuals who have taken whatever journeys, many different journeys, to get here and join our country, and they do it here at IUP.
Whether you've been to IUP or not, the Indiana community is welcoming to foreign and domestic citizens. And reporting for IUP TV News, I'm Vincent Lowry. The naturalization ceremony was part of IUP's International Education Week. We will have more stories about other international events at IUP later in our newscast.
Artifacts and excavation sites came to life for International Archaeology Day. The Anthropology Department sponsored the event and offered a wide array of activities to the public. Reporter Alexei Vakonin attended the event and gives us a closer look.
The Department of Anthropology held its annual International Archaeology Day today at McElhaney Hall. I got a chance to check out the event and talk to the people involved. McElhaney Hall held several displays and activities for archaeology fans of all ages. I talked to Dr. Laura Homsey-Messer about the 7th Annual International Archaeology Day.
So this is our annual Archaeology Day open house, and we do this in conjunction with the Archaeological Institute of America, and annually they host an International Archaeology Day. So celebrate archaeology, celebrate the thrill of discovery, scientific discovery, and also just kind of raise awareness about, past cultures, past people, looking at diversity in the past, and hopefully by looking at diversity in the past, better understanding and appreciating diversity in the present.
On show were also several types of research equipment ranging from very high-tech to quite low-tech.
I'm currently using the MakerBot 3D printer, and we're replicating artifacts that we have scanned in using the 3D scanner. So we can use them for educational purposes, for like in the classroom, or they're even using them in museums now to share collections of artifacts, so that like if one museum has an artifact in their museum and they want to share it with another, they can scan it in and then actually 3D print it out, and it will look almost identical to the original. And it's a really good educational tool, and it's a good public archaeology tool.
So this is the flotation laboratory, and what we do in flotation is recover small-scale plant and animal remains that are going to tell us about the environment. They're also going to tell us about subsistence, what people were eating. So we take samples of dirt and we process them through this machine. We use the principle of flotation, which is that if you keep the water agitated, very light things will float to the top and they'll float off into one collector, and the heavy stuff will fall to the bottom.
I finished my tour with some spear throwing. Turns out my skill set is much more suited for this millennium. Alex Vauhkonen, IUP TV News.
If you were headed down 119, you can now pick up a six-pack at the Sheetz in Homer City. After a battle with other beer sellers and the Center Township supervisors, the first shipments of beer and malt liquor beverages have started to arrive. Recent remodeling at the Homer City Sheetz has made way for the new stock. Sheetz dealt with several obstacles in getting their beer license, including an attempt to transfer a license from another municipality, which the township denied. Sheetz eventually purchased a license that belonged to the former Whitey's Pizza last summer. Will IUP faculty be walking off the job again? We will find out details on contract negotiations after this break.
The Communications Media and Instructional Technology PhD program gave my life direction. This program was perfect for me with a combination of research and media production. Hands-on courses gave me skills that I now pass on to my students. I use all three areas of the program, production, theory, and research, every day in my job as a college professor.
Learn how the CMIT PhD program can change your life. Visit iup.edu/CMIT.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
I fell in love with the campus, with the people, with my IUP life. See it for yourself. Visit us. Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Find your success.
It looks like IUP faculty will avoid going on strike, at least for the coming year. The Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education and the Faculty Union announced a tentative contract agreement. The contract bargaining has proceeded quietly given last year's discussions that resulted in the first faculty strike in the state system's history. It was this time last year, October 19th, 2016, that more than 5,000 state system faculty walked out at each of the 14 state universities. The resulting contract was a 3-year deal, but because it was retroactive to the date the contract expired, the current agreement expires in June 2019. Details of this latest contract have not yet been released, and no dates have been set for faculty votes to ratify the new 1-year proposal. Since last year's strike, the chancellor of the state system, Frank Brogan, has retired and an interim chancellor was named, former Clarion University president Karen Whitney.
IUP honored 6 alumni this week with the Young Alumni Achievement Award presented by the Office of Alumni Relations. I met a graduate from our Communications Media department, Luke Bowen, who is one of the award recipients. Bowen is the owner of Evil Genius Craft Brewery and Brew Pub in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so we came up with the name Evil Genius sort of in a roundabout way because, you know, the branding and the name of your company is so important. I mean, it says so much about you before you have the chance to really say anything about yourself to new people. And it was really just sort of one night, we overthought it. And we came up with all these, you know, super regal names that we didn't like or that were just too bougie. And, you know, we decided to, you know what, let's just go relax. Let's go visit a couple breweries. Let's kind of go out on the towns, have some dinner, and just sort of get ourselves in a good creative mindset. And it was really at, I think, like about 1:30 in the morning that we kind of had this epiphany and came up with the name Evil Genius. The process we go through naming our beers is really kind of unique. Like, we try to take things that are funny or that we think are humorous or just different experiences from our lives or different things from pop culture, because there's so much craft beer out there that, you know, we really need to stick out in some way. And, you know, we're not a 30-year-old company. You know, not everybody knows who we are. So, you know, we really try to do things that are funny and whimsical and that make people laugh. And if somebody laughs, then maybe they're more likely to order the beer, buy the six-pack off the shelf, and hopefully when they try it, they really like the product because we put a lot of care into that. My favorite thing about owning my own business is just the freedom that I have to be able to kind of go anywhere and do anything and work with anybody or collaborate with anybody I want to. I mean, I get to pick my team, I get to pick what products we make, what markets we go into, just have complete creative and administrative control over things that are kind of going on in the organization. And for me, that's something that I really love and something that I crave, and I'm extremely fortunate to be able to do that at such a young age. My undergrad work here was really impactful, has really helped impact the rest of my life, actually. You know, I dated somebody here whose family was in the beer business, and that was the first time I actually had ever met anybody that worked in that industry, and I just became so inspired by that I just kind of made this decision in my heart of hearts that this is something I was going to do at some point in my life. And, you know, it really, if it wasn't for coming here and being in this program and having this interaction with this person at a critical juncture in my life, I never would have been turned on to the beer business, and who knows where I would be or what I would be doing.
If you were at IUP this weekend, you probably saw a few hundred high school students walking around campus. We sent reporter Taylor Schaefer out to find out why.
Some 400 high school students visited IUP on Saturday to see what the university has to offer.
Go ahead and get started.
The open house begins in Fisher Auditorium, where students get an overview of what the day will include. Following the college welcoming, students and families break into groups based on their interest in an academic college and major. Each department offers a chance to tour the facilities. I had the opportunity to follow a group interested in communications media. Located in Davis Hall, Donald Windsor had a chance to give an overview of the IUP TV facility.
So this is the best for the students because this is their first impression of IUP. We want to give them the best first impression. We want to make them feel welcome. We want to take them to the departments and show them a normal tour that they would have if they come for a tour, like a regular scheduled tour. And just a great opportunity for someone in 11th or 12th grade right now to go visit a college like IUP and get the best experience they can on a Saturday.
IUP offers these open houses throughout the academic year and also the summer. I'm Taylor Schaefer, reporting for IUP TV News.
Anyone interested in a campus tour can register through IUP's admissions website.
The International Education Office at IUP gave folks a tour of the world with an international fashion show. Students and faculty from around the globe provided a glimpse of clothing from their home countries. Reporter Paige Kreischer brings us this story from the event.
The International Fashion Show took place last Thursday at 6 p.m. in McVitie Auditorium. This is the second fashion show IUP has done for International Education Week, the first being in 2015. This year's show featured styles from 15 different countries, such as Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Iran, Indonesia, Kenya, and many more. Adil Waqid helped with the last fashion show, but this year he had the help of Shahad Asahali and Aaron Taylor. Together, the three of them organized this event.
I think it did really good. I feel like I'm really proud of it, like in everything that we did.
That's right. And even like people who came, it was like more than what I expected though.
Yeah. You feel like there's positive vibes with everyone wearing their own, clothes. It's amazing. Yeah. Just amazing seeing different culture.
Before the show, there were 2 rehearsals, where they ran into some challenges such as the microphone not working, picking music for different countries, and some people not attending.
The first one, it was kind of a disaster because we had to collect them and it was our first thing, and we were so nervous. But the second one went so well, so it was great. And thank you, Brandon, for for being our hero. He helped us a lot.
In the end, the show went very smoothly, and the team put together a well-organized show for the many people who showed up. For IUP TV News, this is Paige Kreischer.
If exploring the different cultures leaves you wanting more, you can always visit the Office of International Education to learn about the opportunities for IUP students.
The discussion of diverse cultures brings us difference and opinion and thoughts. The latest installment of the 6 o'clock series offered a panel discussion on faith perspectives. Reporter Taylor Jones attended the session and brings us this story.
Tonight's 6 o'clock series was about faith perspectives on strangers and foreigners, where there were 5 panelists that got to talk about each of their religions.
Nobody can become your enemy. They can't do it. Even if they treat you roughly, if they steal from you, if they harm you.
The 5 representatives ranged from different religions, from the oldest to youngest, such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. They each talked about their tradition's viewpoint toward strangers and foreigners. The representatives also discussed their religion's sacred text and what they hope for the future.
I was really encouraged. I thought it was a great night. Appreciated the panelists, their different thoughts. And what I really appreciated about this evening was just the challenge of, am I living up to ideals about, am I contributing to seeing that the stranger, that someone that I don't know would be welcomed in my community.
The panelists discussed how they accept strangers and how people have to stop generalizing others and actually get to know the person.
I think that students had a good opportunity to meet some folks from other faith bases and to learn at least some of the scratching of the surface of how we view people in general. And I think that was part of the overarching theme was how do we view people? Like, what do we view our place in the world is, and how can we benefit beings? So I do think that there was some opportunity there, yes.
The 6 o'clock series provides IUP students, employees, and community members an opportunity to learn about current issues and approach familiar topics from a new perspective. If you're interested in the 6 o'clock series and would like to go to the next one, the next installment is about QPR training and panel. I'm Taylor Jones reporting for IUP TV News.
When we come back, reporter Emma McCarthy gives us a look at fall baseball, and sports anchor Sarah Moltz will have the rest of the sports highlights.
Receiving a Jefferson Award for public service was an honor I will always cherish. I've known since I was very young that I wanted to help make a difference, but I didn't create an organization to win an award. I did it because as a teacher, I believe all kids deserve a good start and a shot at high achievement. I'm April King, a graduate of Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Get my story at iup.edu.
The environment is my passion. Every day, I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at gocoastguard.com.
What does it mean to have a college degree?
I can finish what I started.
I can compete for my dream job.
What does it mean to have an IUP Communications Media degree?
I can get a promotion.
I am going to be a leader in my community.
What does it mean to get your IUP degree online?
I can afford it.
I'll have a mentor.
I did it on my own time.
Face-to-face, professor support when you need it at our North Point campus. Find out how easy it is to get your degree from IUP.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into Hawk Zone Sports. If you haven't heard, the IUP football team picked up another win this past Saturday against Clarion University in a close game of 23-17. The Crimson Hawks improved to now 8-0 overall and 5-0 in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Tough game throughout, the IUP defense held strong, only giving up just 239 yards and overcame 3 turnovers and 9 penalties on the road. Sophomore linebackers Nick Amendola and Damon Lloyd impressed, tallying 14 and 11 total tackles. Redshirt junior quarterback Lenny Williams threw for 198 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. The IUP football team remains at number 2 in the nation according to the Media Top 25 poll. The IUP women's soccer team won big in double overtime this past Saturday, 3-2 over Gannon University. Saturday's game was also senior day for the Crimson Hawks. The win over Gannon puts the Crimson Hawks in the upcoming 2017 Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference Championships, improving to 11-4 overall and 10-4 in the conference. Great job, ladies. The IUP men's women golf team also won its 28th Pennsylvania State Athletic title, as senior Joshua Bartley won the individual title, leading IUP to the championship this weekend at the Hershey Country Club. Bartley shot a 5-under 67 in Sunday's second round, breaking a tie with Millersville Connor Sheelan by 1 stroke for individual medalist honors. IUP Athletics tweeted this. Sports reporter Stephen Langdon will have more on Bartley's success next week. The IUP men's cross-country team finished 3rd overall at the 2017 PSAC Championships last Saturday morning at California, PA. Senior Greg Bodette, Dalton Trump, and Austin Cooper finished in 4th, 9th, and 10th place. All 3 gentlemen earned first-team All-PSAC honors from their top 10 finishes. The IUP women's cross-country team also finished 11th overall at the championships. McKenna Phelps finished in 27th place, earning second-team All-PSAC honors. A lot of action being held this past weekend and upcoming week. The fall sports are finally coming to an end, and for some teams, the postseason is right around the corner. The IUP women's soccer and field hockey team kick off this week, playing tomorrow, both at 4 o'clock. Field hockey will face Mansfield at George Miller Stadium, while women's soccer plays against Mercyhurst at South Campus Field. This Saturday, October 28th, the IUP football team looks to improve to 9-0, hosting Gannon University at noon, following the IUP women's field hockey team hosting Westchester at 5 p.m. Both teams will be celebrating Senior Day. Women's soccer will also be traveling to Westchester Saturday afternoon, along with women's volleyball, who play at Shippensburg. I leave you tonight with this story from Emma McCarthy, who had the opportunity to talk with IUP baseball head coach Anthony Rybisky about fall practice and the road to their spring season.
When you think baseball, you think spring, but fall is also a very important season for the IUP Crimson Hawks baseball team. Under the leadership of second-year head coach Anthony Rybisky, teamwork, recruiting, and preparing for conference play is a main focus.
The biggest thing that we have to try to instill in our guys is to make sure that they understand the competitive nature of our conference, and it begins, with the upperclassmen leading the underclassmen, our freshmen primarily, and our transfers. Our league is very, very competitive. The national champions from last year are from our league. It's Westchester, who won a national championship last year. Always trying to compete at the highest level is important to us, not only on the field but in the classroom, outside the classroom. And everything we do, I always say we have, when we go out to, eat as a team, our guys go to the CAF or wherever it may be, I think eating becomes competitive in our nature. So, it might sound funny at the time, but it's, what we're trying to instill in our guys on an everyday basis, hour by hour, just to be competitive in everything we do.
Yeah. So we know you were at a recruiting event yesterday. What kind of player are you looking forward to recruiting for the IUP team?
Recruitment-wise, academics is important at Division II level, and we understand that not everybody's going to be a professional draft out of here. We would love for that to happen, but we understand that graduating is an important thing for not only our program but for the university. We try to get student athletes who are good in the classroom, 3.5s or higher. Can we stop?
Home games are here at South Campus starting in late February. From IUP TV News, I'm Emma McCarthy.
That's all for sports. When we return, Vinny and Rachel will bring you upcoming events.
What does it mean to have a college degree?
I can finish what I started.
I can compete for my dream job.
What does it mean to have an IUP Communications Media degree?
I can get a promotion.
I am going to be a leader in my community.
What does it mean to get your IUP degree online?
I can afford it.
I'll have a mentor.
I did it on my own time.
Face-to-face, professor support when you need it at our North Point campus. Find out how easy it is to get your degree from IUP.
There's nothing ever gonna make this world better if we don't start believing that love really, really, really is the answer. Everybody join hands, 'cause it's time now. Spread the love all over the world. Spread it all over the world.
Welcome back. This past weekend, Static brought the pumpkin patch to IUP. The free event was filled with fall fun from pumpkin carving to pumpkin cookies. Reporter Peyton Markajon tells us more.
Rather than take a trip to the pumpkin patch, Static has brought the pumpkin patch here to IUP. And students are certainly enjoying all of the fun fall activities that this Fall Fest has to offer. Fall Fest is a free event put on by Static, and it is open to all members of the campus community. This is just one of the many events that is held annually by Static.
Yes, this is our 5th annual year doing Fall Fest. Other years it wasn't as big as it is this year, so we tried to put a little bit more programming and activities in here for you guys this year. But yeah, this is our 5th year doing Fall Fest.
Some of the activities available for students to enjoy included pumpkin carving, seasonal crafts, a few games, and even a photo booth. There was also a wide selection of fall desserts and beverages.
I just got here a couple minutes ago, but already I feel like I'm just immersed in fall right now. I was over there doing a wreath thing, and now I'm making this pumpkin here.
It's pretty fun. There's lots of food, pretty snacks, and there's different stuff that we can do. I'm painting pumpkins right now, and it's pretty fun. So,
in addition to this event, Static also has other events planned for the fall season.
We just wanted to give a little day to do fall activities and Halloween type-ish activities. We have three fall activities that we do this semester. We have Fall Fest, which is today. We have Get Out, Netflix and Chill, and we have the trip to Scare House.
Reporting for IUP TV, I'm Peyton Markajon.
This is just one of many seasonal events Static has planned. Static and the Student Co-op are planning a trip to Scare House in Pittsburgh. Tickets are $20 for transportation and admission. They are scheduled to leave the Hadley Union Building parking lot at 5 p.m. on Saturday, October 28th. You must have an iCard to purchase a ticket.
One of the most stressful things this time of year can be putting together the perfect Halloween costume. If you need some inspiration, our next story might help. Reporter Tegan Schreckengoss took to the campus to ask students about their favorite Halloween costumes.
With the spookiest holiday quickly approaching, we took to campus to ask students what their favorite past Halloween costume was.
My favorite costume was the one year me and my friends were all Shark Week. We had shark heads. That was pretty cool. And we had the days of the week on our shirt, and we covered ourselves in blood. So that was pretty cool.
Our Halloween costume was definitely in the past. It was in 5th grade. I was a blue Power Ranger, and I wore it for our Halloween parade.
Probably my best costume was last year. I was the chocolate lady from SpongeBob. I just rolled around Indiana yelling, "Oh, what are they selling? Oh, they're selling chocolates? Oh!"
Her Halloween costume was Wonder Woman, and I had the costume, I looked just like her, and I felt empowered when I wore it.
Well, I had a couple, but the one that stands out to me would be the one when I was a skeleton guy, and I had a little heart pump squeezer thing. And basically when I squeezed it, blood came out into my face.
So a few years ago, I purchased a pair of PF Flyers, which are old school Converse shoe. And because I always liked the Sandlot when I was younger, so I was actually Benny the Jet Rodriguez the one year, and I wore a Los Angeles Dodgers cap and the jeans rolled up and everything. So it was pretty cool.
Happy Halloween! I'm Tegan Schreckengoss reporting for IUP TV News.
In our weekly events calendar, the Latin American Studies Group will be doing free sugar skull paintings on November 1st. The event is to celebrate the Day of the Dead and will be from 5 to 6:15 outside the Humanities Building. For more information, follow Latin American Studies on Twitter at IUPLAS.
Sleep, It Does a Body Good is also on November 1st. In G60 of Suites on Maple East, the Center for Health and Well-Being is sponsoring the workshop to help students learn about sleeping problems and better ways to rest.
Don't miss the meditation sitting, also hosted by the Center for Health and Well-Being. They will be meeting on Tuesday, October 31st from 12:15 to 12:45 and from 4 to 4:30. The meditation is held in room 402 in Suites on Maple East.
That's all we have this week on IUP TV News. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
And don't forget to tune in next week. Have a great night.